Hi,
Hi
Sharon
Sharon, how are
Horgan.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is gonna sound like I'm blowing smoke up your ass, but I'm not. You, to me, have continued to make some of the best movies and television in recent years, and Bad Sisters is now part of that because it's fantastic. And so I want to know what kind of drew you into this and made you want to be a part of it and also write for it and everything like that.
Um, I was looking for something to do. Is the thing post catastrophe. I love that show so much, and so when something ends, that you're so heavily involved in and that you love so much, you kind of have to, fill that gap. And so it was just introduced to me by the head of Apple in UK, Jay Hunt, and she'd been with Channel 4 when Catastrophe was on there. And so she just said, look, I think this could be your next thing. And I wasn't sure because I'd never adapted anything, or, I'd never written a thriller or anything sort of drama length, but I just fully fell in love with it. I'd never written anything that has such a strong premise. And but equally, you're really spending time with the characters. So it kind of felt like I could do the thing that I do, which is, dig into relationships and but do it on this sort of large scale with these five sisters and with this sort of thriller narrative that's propelling it forward. And it felt kind of exciting to step out of my comfort zone, which is, catastrophe and, divorce, talking about mothers or relationships. It felt completely different, and I really like that, because you've got to challenge yourself, I think, creatively, or it all gets a bit stale.
Yeah, and I think it's fun because I am a huge Nick Cage fan, so I loved The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but I also really liked your role in it. And it did feel like I was like, oh yes, that's a perfect Sharon Horgan role. But this feels like a completely new and fresh thing for you. But you're also, it's very much a companion piece with all of these sisters. And so what was the relationship kind of like on set, getting to know each other and find that balance of like being sisters for this?
Yeah, it was actually so easy. We luckily had time to, rehearsal time was built into our sort of production schedule. And so, we swam together and we ate together and we talked, and we just really got to know each other. I'd worked with Eva Berthasell before, all of them I'd admired, all of them I knew I wanted to work with. And it was easy. We had 10 months together. So if you can't sort of connect as a sisterhood in 10 months, then you're in trouble. But we were all very, very involved, from the second it started. Some of the most intense scenes were at the very, very beginning. And so we got to sort of experience those characters and those personalities, and get to know each other really sort of deeply pretty quickly. So it's kind of easy from there. But it was scary as well, because that chemistry in that relationship is, if we don't have that, if people don't believe we're sisters and don't believe we know each other better than anyone, it would be very tricky, to make the show work. It's such an important relationship.
And it definitely does. It's just so easy. It's dark, but it's very easy to kind of just watch. Like you're just sitting there like, all right, what's next? Like, did they do this
Really?
going
Oh,
on?
great.
Yeah, and so you mentioned a rehearsal. Is that something that you enjoy? Because I know with film acting, it is very rare that there is like a rehearsal process. So is that
It's so
fun?
rare. Yeah, it's really rare. Like, I did a film called Together, and
Mm.
we had as much rehearsal time as we had filming time. And it was amazing. It was like theater, for that reason. You really got to work it out. But that's so unusual. For the most part, you just hit the ground running. You might get a day if you're lucky, but we had, a week and a half or so. And for this in particular, it was just it was really worth it. The getting to know each other, but also just running the scenes and figuring out what the tone was, because it's such a specific tone and it's such a serious subject matter at the heart of it, and I think everyone had to relax and know that they were in safe hands. It didn't look like we were kind of mocking what it is to be in an abusive relationship like that. We're doing a balancing act with these sort of tones, but I always feel like with anything that has comedy in it, it only kind of helps, it allows you a bit of sort of emotional respite, and then you can really hit people and when they're not looking.
Yeah. I can't wait for other people to get to watch it because I want to see theories and
Thank
things.
you.
Thank you so much for talking with me today. This is great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Bye.
meet you.